Hello, my name is Brett Spencer, and today we'll be talking about Ridley Scott's Napoleon film. As you might know, Ridley Scott is not the best director when it comes to historical accuracy, and he's going to do a film about the rise and fall of Napoleon in a 158-minute movie. Judging by the movie trailer, it seems like the movie begins with the death of Marie Antoinette, and will follow Napoleon's career from the Siege of Toulon to the Battle of Waterloo, which is simply too much history, and this should be a miniseries like the 2002 Napoleon, which covers the rise and fall of Napoleon, and that miniseries got me into Napoleonic history. Now let's compare this movie's runtime with another movie, Waterloo, which had a runtime of 128 minutes. And that just covered the Battle of Waterloo. Let's begin with events chronologically. We see the French take the coastal forts at Toulon and open fire on the Royal Navy, seeing a couple ships sink. But historically, no British ships were sunk at the Siege of Toulon. And then we are introduced to Josephine, Napoleon's future wife, and she has a 90s haircut. But then again, I have heard that women during the Republic era did have their hair short, but I am not sure about that, so don't quote me on it. And plus, I'm not too familiar with revolutionary France fashion. Then we get the whiff of grape shot, where Napoleon disperses a crowd of royalists by firing grape shot into them. Then we are shown scenes that I think are from the Italian campaign. I'm not sure, because we see Napoleon leading a cavalry charge, but Napoleon never led any cavalry charges because he was an artillery officer and never trained with cavalry, and B, he was known to be not a very good horse rider. He had bad posture, from what I've heard. And I'm not sure which battle it is, because from what we can see, there's nothing really distinguishing about it, so we don't know what this battle is. Then we see Napoleon talking to a politician, I believe, and I think this is in either in Italy or in Egypt. Then we see Napoleon with the Sphinx, which is based off a famous painting, and it looks very close to it. And then we also see the Battle of the Pyramids, which is quite odd because the Battle of the Pyramids didn't happen in front of the pyramids, but by miles away. Like, you can barely see them, and paintings at the time shown them to be in the background and not in front of the French army. So I guess Ridley Scott wanted to show people that this was the Battle of the Pyramids, so he made the French and Mahmud armies fight in front of the pyramids. Then we see the 18th of Brumaire, where Napoleon launches a coup against the Directory and installs the French consulary, with himself as first consul. Then we see Napoleon and Josephine have an intimate moment together where basically Josephine says, you are nothing without me, and it is true that Josephine did help Napoleon rise to power by teaching him how to behave around polite society. But I would also suggest seeing the trailer for yourself. I could be wrong on what she said. Then we see the aftermath of what I believe is the plot of Rue Saint-Nicolas. But Napoleon continued on his trip to the opera, where he was applauded for surviving the assassination attempt. Then we see Napoleon being crowned as Emperor of the French. Then we see Battle of Austerlitz, even though it looks like it's the Battle of Eylau because of the snow. I think Ridley Scott wanted to show us that this was winter, so he showed them fighting in the snow, even though at the real battle there was no snow at all. Then we see Napoleon ordering his artillery to open fire on the lake where the Austrians and Russians are drowned in the frozen water. Then we see the burning of Moscow, and then we are shown a scene of the coalition surrounding Paris. Then we see Napoleon's return, and then we see the Battle of Waterloo. My final thoughts: the costumes look decent and the action looks good, but unfortunately I won't be able to see it because this looks like to be an Apple TV exclusives, so I can't give you a review of the film, but I would love to see this movie in cinemas. If you like this video, like and subscribe. See you next time.